Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I'm a big fan of David Goggins and I love this book. S tier, very inspiring. A Study in Scarlet by Arthur Conan Doyle. This is the first book in the Sherlock Holmes series, and I found it to be surprisingly disappointing. B tier, One Day at Horrorland by R.L. Stein. The last time I read a Goosebumps book was like 30 years ago. I wanted to reread, but I shouldn't have broken my streak. This was just so bad. D tier. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. Her magnum opus, in my opinion. I reread this after 8 years and I loved every bit of it. Top tier. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Possibly the funniest book I've read. A tier. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I found the story to be a bit dull, but I enjoyed the writing. B tier. Dracula by Bram Stoker really took me back to the 19th century. I thoroughly enjoyed the book, although I felt it was a bit repetitive at times. So, A tier. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. This is a cool book, cool anecdotes. A tier. From the same author, we have Same as Ever, and this one just did not do it for me. This could have been a YouTube short. C tier. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Another great book. The monologues were a little too long though, so A tier. Notes from Underground by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I understand what he's trying to convey with this book, but I really cannot get myself to rate it higher than B tier. I really dislike the character of the underground man. Dune Messiah by Frank Herbert. So this was a letdown from the first Dune book. This will go in the B tier for me. I'm not a big fan of the Dune franchise. Coming up next, we have the three books from the Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy by Leo Session. Starting with the three body problem, top tier. These are all just fantastic works of science fiction. I thoroughly enjoyed all the books. Another science fiction book is All Tomorrows by C.M. Kozman. So, if letting your imagination run wild was a book, this would be it. I enjoyed it as well. 8 year. Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. I am amazed at how good a writer Phil Knight is. Of course, the story of Nike was also really good. So, this goes in the top tier without a doubt. The Egg and Other Stories by Andy Weir. This guy writes books for Hollywood. He's written The Martian and Project Hail Mary. The Egg is one of my favorite short stories, but all the other stories in this book were mediocre at best. C tier. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. People have polarizing opinions about this book. Most people love it, some people hate it. I loved it. Beautiful story. S tier. Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. This was a good book, a bit boring at times, 8 year. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. The concept was great, the execution was not. A little too many plot holes, C tier. Let's Talk Mutual Funds by Monica Hullen. She talked about mutual funds all right, 8 year. Breaking Down by Stephanie Meyer. Let's not go here, C tier. Don't know why I read that. Wings of Fire by APJ Abdul Kalam. Great man, great story, and easily the best title in all the books here. Goes in the S tier. 1984 by George Orwell. I reread this after 3 years. Initially, I rated it 4 out of 5, but now that I've grown more wiser in the last 3 years, this goes in the top tier. Enjoyed it. The Tales of Beetle and the Bard by J.K. Rowling. This was a cute book, took me back to my Harry Potter days, 8 year. Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb. Maybe I should instead of talking to a camera on a Sunday evening. I like this book, 8 year.